Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today I'm once again answering some of your questions, and the big one is, does resale value matter when collecting watches? That and a bunch more in today's episode. Now, of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing my Patek Philippe Calatrava white gold sector dial on my Aaron bespoke strap. Absolutely loving it. And also, guys, don't forget to check out delraywatch.com. A bunch of cool watches have come in, including the Omega Seamaster with the very much wanted white dial. This one is a full kit. We also got in a Breguet Type 20 flyback chronograph with the older tritium dial. This one is already developing this beautiful cream color on the dial. Absolutely gorgeous. Should go check it out. And of course, the newly released Patek Philippe Calatrava 6119G in the more modern size with the more modern movement that fills up the case. This is the beginning of a new generation for Patek Philippe, and we have it with box, papers, and the cheapest one in the country by far. All that and way more at delraywatch.com, the best place for a watch geek to buy a watch. Link in the description below. Anyway, guys, these are the questions you ask me on my Instagram account at Federico Talks Watches. A few times a month, a Q&A picture pops up. When you see that picture, feel free to type your question below. When I get enough questions, I take the picture down. Please do not DM me. I do not check them. And we start in no particular order with R. Marandino. And he said, "Hey Fed, what do you think of Tiffany & Co. mechanical watches? Are they good, or is Tiffany just on the map because of Patek Philippe?" This is an interesting question. We're going to talk more about their more modern watches, because Tiffany has gone through various eras of watchmaking. So, of course, Patek Philippe being sold at Tiffany boutiques and the double-signed dials has put Tiffany watchmaking on the map. But I actually really like the design of the modern Tiffany watches. The Atlas, the chronographs, the East-West, all very good-looking watches. Mechanically, nothing special. A lot of Etta and Sellita movements in the modern-day collection. But there's nothing wrong with that. I actually think, considering the name Tiffany, they're priced decently, and they're definitely priced very well in the secondary market. I find them extremely undervalued, pre-owned, and to be very, very handsome. But, as I said, innovation-wise, nothing of note, just very good-looking watches. Alexander Hayter. What do you make of Studio Underdog's new watch coming out at £1,700? Well, Alexander, I'm glad you asked this question, but the problem is I don't really know much about Studio Underdog. Yes, I've read the press releases. I know they've become more popular as of recent times. I don't think £1,700 is crazy. It's definitely on the high side, but they've been innovating with their designs. They've become a lot more popular, and now is the time for them to kind of profit on that, right? I don't think the price is entirely unreasonable for like a small non-in-house brand. If you consider it some of the big box brands like Longines and Tag that are essentially quality-wise probably doing something very similar but for much more money. I mean, it is what it is. I like Studio Underdog because they push the limits, but their watches never really spoke to me, so I never really looked too much into them. Username 12389, bunch of numbers. Is the resale value of a watch an important factor to consider when buying a luxury watch, even if it's for personal collection? So, just like buying any expensive item, I do think resale is important, even if you never plan on reselling it. That being said, I think too many people harp on resale value and buy things they don't actually like because it holds value better. The number one thing to buy is the thing that you like, but I'd be lying to you if I didn't say resale value isn't a consideration. There's a few things to remember here. As much as a lot of other YouTubers would want you to believe, watches are not investments. And 99% of the time, you will lose money. even if you got a great deal. And that's okay. The same thing goes with luxury suits if you resell them, luxury cars if you resell them, luxury electronics. You lose money. You want an investment, put your money in a Vanguard index fund. Don't buy a watch. That being said, there's no reason to get fleeced on a watch. Buying pre-owned, most of the time, there's a few exceptions, but buying pre-owned, you can mitigate a lot of that, resale value drop, let someone else take the hit. Just like buying a car. I tend to buy used cars in good condition, but used. Get it at a cheaper price. Also, don't be scared to negotiate. That never hurts. Not to say that you will get your way, but it is your job to mitigate any potential loss, even if you're not going to sell it. And that's okay, because everybody likes something cheaper. So to answer your question, yes, resale value is an important factor, but it's not the most important factor, and your watch should not be considered an investment 99% of the time. Then last but not least, Gordon, 1977. Fed, what are your thoughts on the Omega Railmaster? They're pretty inexpensive and seem to be a good value, yet I don't know anyone that owns one. So they're actually very popular in the Asian market. I see them a lot in Hong Kong and Japan. I love Railmasters. They can be picked up all day long, under 3,000, even under 2,500 sometimes. I think it's a very versatile watch, very well made. I find it slightly more appealing to my eyes than an Explorer, but that's just me. I'm actually thinking of picking up a Railmaster to be an everyday watch for me, because for the price, I think what you get is fantastic. So watch this wrist. There might be a Railmaster on it at some point. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Really does help. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more content. And of course, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.